YouTube ruined reading for me. YouTube absolutely ruined reading books for me. And this is one of those experiences, one of those personal experiences. And I don't really like to share personal experiences with my audience, but it is absolutely true. This has been a personal experience for me last year, and especially also the year before that. For 2 years, YouTube has entirely taken joy for me out of any book that I was reading, except for like few, I mean like few, a tiny minority of books. I did definitely enjoy The Way of Kings. I did definitely enjoy also reading, Lies of Locke Lamora. These are few books that I have absolutely enjoyed. There is also the, Discworld books. I've read the first 2 and I have absolutely enjoyed those, at least the first 2 books that were recommended to me. And so I have read books that I enjoyed, despite wanting to make reviews on that. But you see, YouTube has basically taken something I used to do for fun, for passion, and it made it into a chore. And that's the first issue that I came across, especially hit a wall with midway, or at least, the start of last year, all right? The start of last year was tremendously damaging for me, because I essentially came across a situation where I was reading a new book every week. A new book every week. That was not natural for me. A new book every week for some people is normal, completely normal. For me, no. A new book every week is crazy. A new book every month is possible, but for me, naturally, the way things go is, if there's no pressure, it would be one book every month and a half or 2 months. That's because I've got college, I've got to make YouTube videos as well, I've got, other social media accounts to take care of, I have internships, I have exams. Essentially, I only read before I sleep for 30 minutes, for 1 hour, and it's for fun. It's for fun, okay? It's supposed to be like an escape. Or a cozy time before you go to sleep. You know how it feels. I'm not going to explain to you how it feels. You know how it feels, and it's freaking good. But you see, now you have to make a video every week in YouTube, and that video has to be a review of a book so that you can build that platform of readers. And so essentially what you have is a situation where I'm not reading before I go to sleep for fun anymore. I'm reading every week, every day, every morning, every time I, commute, every time I am in class and doing nothing, and I don't think that the class is worth it, I have to read. Because guess what? I need to pop out a 1,000-page book every goddamn week, or a 500 or 300-page book. If you were really being honest with yourself, if a book is 400 pages or 500 pages and you divide it over 7 days, that's going to be not bad. That's going to be under 100, certainly. However, you also have to make the video, edit that video, publish that video. Now it becomes a chore. Now it becomes a nightmare, okay? It becomes an absolute nightmare to even, the thought of reading another book was absolutely depressing to me. And I never thought in my life that I would have, the thought of reading a book become a depressing thought. Damn, kind of thought. Even writing didn't do this for me. A lot of people, when they start writing books, they start reading, naturally, reading becomes more of a work rather than enjoyment. That does not happen for me often, because I can turn it off. I can absolutely turn it off by reading faster. You just read faster. You always forget about it. Yeah, all that writing stuff, you forget about it. You get immersed in the story. Just read faster and your mind is going to shut off. It's not going to be thinking about the structure of the prose anymore, okay, or the paragraphs or the sentences and so on and so forth. So you can easily get around that problem. Writing doesn't make reading into a chore. YouTube and making reviews and platforms and building those platforms, turns reading into a chore, and it is one of the worst feelings or worst things that can actually happen. It absolutely sucks. It is awful, to say the least. And I realized this, I think, like around August this year. All right, August last year. August last year, I decided once and for all, I'm just gonna stop. And I'm going to start basically maybe publishing one review every month or every 2 months. And that's my normal pace. And it took me quite a lot of time to basically get off from that. I need to make a review every week. I need to make a review every week. It's an absolutely hellish pressure because you want to have a channel that grows. You want to build that platform, but you have a situation where you can't sustain it. It's not natural. You cannot absolutely sustain this. And so I really am sorry to those who used to absolutely, love the reviews, who wanted those reviews. I will be making some in the future, but it is important for me to really get it out of my chest. The reason why there's been less reviews in this channel is primarily because I don't want to make reading into a chore. I am sorry. I really am sorry. In a very simple way, I don't think that I should be damaging something that is pure, something for fun, something that we all do for fun, something that we do for fun, and make it toxic and awful and a job. It doesn't have to be a job. You just do it for fun, and when I finish the book, I'll review it. And I think that's a much healthier way to approach this, and that's how I'm going to do it. You know why? Let's talk also about sustainability. I think, it's much better to have the capacity to sustain a base rather than, you pushing yourself over the limit every single time to meet an unrealistic standard. All right, we talked about like a few weeks ago, why are writers toxic or why do they cheat? Well, that's because they want to be famous, and being famous requires a lot of luck. And so, once they are met with these hurdles, these unrealistic standards that they want to achieve, and they cannot achieve it normally, they start cheating. And they become toxic, and they start buying fake reviews and all those different things. Well, guess what? Reading as a chore, as a thing that you're going to review, that's the same thing. And let's talk also about another thing. So not only is it unsustainable, and not only do I want to achieve sustainability, but I think it's critical to also appreciate a book for what it is. Not as just something you're going to review, not as something that you're reading as part of a job. A book has to be appreciated for what it is. And you ought to enjoy that book. If you don't like it, that's fine. But at least try to appreciate a book. Not just some sort of, another product in the assembly line. Don't turn it into something like that. And I no longer want to do that. And I want to move away from that. And in my honest opinion, YouTube has ruined reading for me, but in the last half a year, I've been able to claw back. I read, 3 books, very simple, short books. A lot of them about self-help, to be honest, building yourself up. Atomic Habits was one of those. Anyway, I'm not going to be reviewing those on this channel, but in the future, if I happen to read fantasy books, I will be reviewing them in the channel. And if I happen to read other fiction books, I'll be reviewing those books in the channel as well. And I hope that you took something from this video. I hope that you don't ruin reading for yourself as well. I hope that you don't ruin something that you enjoy and turn it into a miserable numbers game. Anyhow, yeah, that's gonna be it. Short video, just an honest one-to-one. Have a nice day. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Bye.